Hey everybody, welcome to my live. I'm so happy to be here with you, and I am in the comments with you, so please leave me a comment, say hello, tell me where you're from, tell me where you're watching from. Please don't forget to give a thumbs up to the video. I would greatly appreciate that as well. And I am so excited to bring you this super fun, fantastic shaker card. You're gonna love it. It is pretty fun to make, and this Zany Zoo set is infectious, just absolutely infectious. So anyway, let's get started. We're using the Zany Zoo Bundle. We're using the Biggest Wish stamp set, which is all these happy birthday. And we're using the Nested Essential dies, which I have fallen in love with. To make all of the banner ends, we used the pennant die here, this bannered type pennant end, and we're going to use one of these as well. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll dive in. I'll explain everything as we go. And let's go ahead and get started. Fantabulous fun. Look at that card. I love it so much. Are you guys excited for this video? I am super happy to bring it to you. Okay, so let's talk about Slimline cards. So I don't make very many of them, but when I started doing the Global Design Project Challenge, I did a Slimline card, and it just got me so excited for Slimline cards. I decided to do another one today. So this is a piece of basic white, thick, and it is 7.5 inches by 8.5 inches. So you cut down 7.5, and then you score it at 3 3/4 of an inch. And my stylus jumped the channel, and so I didn't get rid of it because I wanted to show you. You just have to be really gentle and just put pressure on the point of your bone folder, and you just want to press that slowly in both directions. And normally, I mean, it wouldn't be a problem, but the inside of the card is white, the outside of the card is white. I didn't want to cut another one, so I'm just gonna make it work. It does hide it pretty well, and we're gonna have this bright paper on the outside, so I think it's not gonna be an issue. Let's go ahead and join our corners. So it's scored at the 3 3/4 inch, so that's 7.5, that's half of that. It's still 8.5 inches long, okay? And so I'm just gonna go ahead and burnish. I'm gonna give it an extra burnish just to help with that little faux pas that I had. And then I'm gonna bring my adhesive remover and erase there. Okay. So this is our Slimline card. And again, like I told you, it's our basic white thick. Now let's talk about our designer series paper. This is the back side of the Zany Zoo, and I'm using the back side of the one that we're using today for these little critters that are on the card. So the back of it is black and white, and it has these really cute stars, super precious. So this is a piece that is 8 inches by 3 1/4 inches. So 8 by 3 1/4. And then this is going to be attached like this. It's going to give us a nice white contrast to that black background, okay? So let's go ahead, and I'm not going to use my silicone mat. I'm going to try and be really careful. We're going to attach this on and get that part out of the way, okay? So we'll go ahead and press that down, and then I'm going to use my roller. You guys know I love this thing. It It really helps to bond your paper together. And it spreads out that wet adhesive on the back of whatever you're gluing it to. All right. That's the basis of our card. Now, I used the Biggest Wish stamp set on scraps of basic white cardstock, not the thick, just the regular. And I stamped happy, happy, happy birthday. 3 happies. It's a long card. You need to fill up a big space. So that's why there's so many happies on there. And of course, you know, it's totally fine to really celebrate with whoever you're giving your card to, right? So we're going to do happy, happy, happy birthday. And I fussy cut around them. So I just used the script. I didn't use the boulder. I wanted it to fit in and kind of blend in the background with just a little white border around it, around our little critters. I wanted them to really be the star. Okay, so I used our tuxedo black ink and I stamped the word happy, and then I I fussy cut around it, and I wanted to save us some time, so I went ahead and did that ahead of time. So those are ready, and they're just over here on the side kind of waiting for their turn in the limelight. But I wanted to show you which ones I used from the stamp set. Then we have our little raccoon, and I colored him. I fussy cut him out and I colored him, and I wanted to leave a border around because I think it helps pop them up. But at the bottom, I wanted their little feet to be planted onto these banners. So I cut right around the edge, leaving that little border. So we have our raccoon with the balloons. We have our dog, and the dog has confetti around him. So I did the same thing. I cut around his feet, and then I went around the rest of him. And I cut the confetti out, but I didn't want to close off this area. So I just cut the confetti, and I have that fussy cut separately right there. I don't know if you guys can see that part of the camera, but if not, I'm sorry. I can't see what you can see, how far up, but I think you can see it. Then we have our little aardvark, or armadillo, or whatever this is. I don't know what it is. I don't know animals that well. I just think they're adorable. And again, I cut close to his feet and his tail because it's gonna fit along that bottom edge, and then the rest I left. The koala bear is juggling cupcakes, so I also cut close to the feet and around there, and then I went ahead and go around there, and I cut the cupcakes separate because I didn't want this to be all filled with white and then you miss out on the shaker element of your card, okay? And then we have a surprise for the inside, but I'm gonna save that until we are done. So let's talk about the bannered pieces that are our shaker elements, okay? So the nested essential dies, let me bring those out right here. And you have this pennant banner piece right here. Okay, so I cut those out, and then I used the neck size down to cut an opening so that it would be an open pennant. I wanted to have it open so that I could make a shaker behind it. So this is Lemon Lolly, Pool Party, Lemon Lime Twist, and Petal Pink. Those are my 4 colors that I chose to use. And then I took window sheets and I cut them down into a rectangle. I measured, I'll bring my ruler up, hang on. Gotta grab it from my drawer. I measured my piece and I thought 2 inches is plenty. I can fit it inside. So I went 2 inches wide, and I wanted it to cover that whole bottom piece, and I did 2 3/4 of an inch long, okay? And then I laid it on there, and so I laid this on there, and while I held it in place, I came in with my scissor, and I slipped it underneath and then I cut to this side, and then I slipped it underneath and cut to this side. So I cut up my window sheet. So I have 4 window sheet pieces that I have cut to match those banner pieces, okay? So that is how we got those. Let's see if I have any other tips right now. I think that's it for that. Put my ruler away. All right, we're gonna have a lot of gluing to do. So let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we are going to attach our window sheets to the backs of our pennants, okay? So we're gonna just flip those over one at a time. We're gonna glue one of these guys around there. So gonna put my glue onto my pennant. You don't need a ton of glue. This glue is very strong, and you don't want it to be super thick because you don't want it to ooze out and then your confetti that you put inside your piece to stick, because there's like a sticky piece of glue somewhere on there that it can access, okay? So we're gonna just place that down just like that. I'm not pushing it hard, I'm just lightly tapping it to grab, and then I'm gonna move it to the side and bring the next one in. And we're gonna just do one at a time until we have all 4 of them done. So if you make this card, what you wanna do is just keep pausing the video until you get your next piece done, all your pieces die cut, all your window sheets snipped, and then all of, you know, your little critters cut out, your happy birthday cut out. You have all of your elements like I have right here. And then you're gonna start attaching your window sheets to the back of your pennant pieces, like I'm doing now. And you guys know that I'm usually overly generous with adhesive, but you don't need very much for this. Like I said, you don't really want it to ooze out or that your confetti gets stuck. We're not gonna put a ton of sequins in there. So you don't want it to get stuck, because then it'll look like you have no sequence in that one banner piece, okay? So we're gonna go ahead, get that one, then do our last one. This is so exciting, isn't it? I was really excited to bring this card to you guys. I had fun designing it, and I just wanted a shaker, but I thought, oh my gosh, I should make, it's a birthday card, so we need to make like a little banner or pennant with, you know, and at first I was going to put the happy birthday on the pennant, and then I thought, oh my gosh, I need to put the critters on the pennant, and then I need to, oh, and I want it to be a shaker. I just got so excited, so, you know, so many ideas running through my head, and then finally I put it all together and ended up coming up with this card. The sequins that we're going to use for the inside are called loose silver sequins. They're really pretty, and they are part of the annual catalog. What's nice about them is that they're white, silvery color, and they go with any project, you know, because they are of that generic color. You can see them back there behind. They work with that black background. They work with all the pastel colors. They're just perfect for this card. All right, so now the next step is I want to lay out my pennants, how I want them to sit on my card, okay? So I'm just gonna sit them down, place them, make sure they're gonna fit, that I have, you know, everything how I want it to look. All right, this one's too far over, so I want to move it. See how you little by little start adjusting your pieces. I'm gonna raise this one a little higher. I don't want it that low, so let's bring this one up like that, which means I can bring this one down and over a little bit. This one can go farther down. Maybe I'll bring it up like that. All right, so now this peach one is gonna kind of tuck and peek out of that yellow, and it's gonna be kind of high also. And this yellow one is gonna have just a hair. I'm gonna angle it just enough that just a hair of that one is sticking out there. And I'm pretty happy, I think, with that placement. I'm gonna bring this one down maybe a little bit more. I love that. I think that looks really good. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna attach them as one unit. It'll make my life so much easier when it's time to make my shaker section. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to basically lift each piece and add a little bit of glue where it's going to attach. So this corner is gonna get glue right here. And then this piece is gonna be placed on here. And just a hair of that peach piece is gonna be showing. So right like that, okay? And then right back behind here, we're also gonna have some showing. So I'm gonna lift up and I'm gonna add a hair of adhesive to grab and hold that piece. I'm just gonna hold it in my hand for a second, make sure that it sticks. Now on to our green banner. So this one is gonna be a little bit higher and it's going to attach underneath this petal pink. So I'm gonna put my adhesive on the green like this up here. Come on, work for me. Doesn't wanna come out, there we go. And now these two are connected, so it's easier to attach this one across this piece like so. Okay, so now that's where that one is connecting. Now we have our last one. Let's make sure this is stuck first where I lift. This one we don't want it off the card, so we'll make sure we're in, and we can slide this down slightly this way, okay? And that's how that's gonna sit. So I'm gonna put some adhesive in this corner of my pennant, okay? And then this is how I'm gonna attach my green, my lemon lime twist to my pool party pennant, okay? I'm very happy with how that looks right there. All right, so it's not just attached there. Remember, we're gonna lift this up as a unit. I'm gonna add a little bit of adhesive back here where it's also attached. All right, and the same with this peach one. It's attached here, but it's also attached a little farther down. So I definitely wanna give that a little bit more glue to hold that in place. All right, guys, so that is, now we have this as one unit. We're gonna move this out of the way and we're gonna flip this over. Now we're going to use our adhesive strips to attach and make our individual little pennant windows, okay? So you can see, I have one more strip left on this one, and then I have to start a new package. But you get 40 strips. It lasts a long time. I've made a lot of shaker cards with this. I'm going to close my wet glue for right now. And we'll start with this piece that I have right here. We're going to start it on this side. We'll place it on my pool party. And then we'll pull up the strip here. Now you can use these edges as well, not just, like you can see here, I've used 3 sides of them. So we're gonna use everything first and then we'll open a new package, okay? So the first thing I'm gonna do is make sure I have my sticky side. I'm gonna bring it up here, come across, and I'm gonna use my scissors, and I like to always snip and then start a new piece. Now for this piece here, I'm gonna stop where it meets that corner. I'm gonna kind of combine the two of these guys together. Does that make sense? So it's going past that because it's gonna meet that corner. And then what I'm gonna do here is I'm going to connect this piece right along this edge, come to the top and snip. And you just basically use your own brain to figure out how you're going to, you know, section your pieces, how you're going to put them together, how they're going to work. Okay, I'm going to use this small piece here to do that corner right then. Okay, you just want to make sure there's no gap. All right, and I'm going to cut this edge off. I'm going to cut on an angle, and we're going to pull this piece and use it next. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill in our banner piece. This one I'm going to go ahead and leave it as one whole piece and bring it right to the end, and I kind of hold it over the top and I slide my scissor along that end, and it's how it helps me to cut that. So that one's complete. Let's work on this one. We're going to attach this corner. Okay, and then we'll attach this straight edge. Isn't this fun to do shakers? I love to make them. I mean, they are a little time consuming, but to me, they're wow cards. And Lisa, if you're watching, something like this would be fantastic with that crown set that you purchased. I think that it would be a good way to go. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and fill this in here. We will cut off on the point. I'm going to add that piece there, and I'm gonna snip. I don't normally do this here, but I'm gonna go ahead and snip there, and I'm gonna use this piece to fill coming out right here. You don't want any parts to be left open because the confetti or the sequins can seep through. So you can see the back side doesn't have to be pretty. No one needs to know that, you know, we are not really struggling, but that we are working our way around. No one's going to see this side. This is our secret, you know, nobody needs to know. And I'm going to cut this one early because we're going to have another piece that's going to come straight down, remember? So let's go ahead and finish attaching this end right there. And I have a tiny piece left over, and I think I'm gonna wedge it right there, like so. All right, let's grab another piece. All right, that one's not gonna make it all the way down, so I think, actually, I'm gonna move that one. Let's use these two together. Let's see if I can do it. Let's see if I can make it work. Let's put this one here and go all the way to the end. And let's see if I can use this piece. Yes, right there. All right. We have one piece left to go. So I'm gonna use my last piece off of this sheet. We may not have to open a new one. I still have one more side here. And we're gonna go ahead and place and place. And I'm gonna trim. All right, and then let's attach this piece here. This is looking awesome, guys. I won't have to open another pack. See? Those edges, you can use them. All right, so let's put our last piece across like that. And I will make sure that this makes it right to that edge. There we go. Fantastic. Just make sure that all of your pieces, I'm gonna put this side by side with this one. And next time I will start with these, and then we will work on our new package. See how many shakers I've done with just one package of these things. These things are fantastic because it makes it simple. You don't have to think. You have all these little strips already done for you. So they're pretty fabulous. Okay. There is what the rough back end, but look at the front. No one can tell, right? It just looks like this fabulous little package of, what do you call these guys? Pennants. I'm actually going to trim this piece because I don't want it to stick out. There we go. All right, I'm very happy. I'm going to look around and I'm very happy with how that looks. What do you guys think? You have this whole little, like, you know, set of, ooh, okay. We missed this. We missed this side. Whoops. Pull it back out. I just noticed that. I missed it. You guys were probably screaming at me the whole time. What? Okay. So let's put this one in place. I'm gonna put that one up there. And then I will just use my scissor and I will cut on the angle. And then we're gonna move this until it meets. I might have to trim a smidge more off on the angle. There we go. Let's lift this up, bring it over, and attach it. There we go. Fabulous. All right, now we're ready to go. Let's flip that back over. Amazing. You don't want anything sticking out, so if you need to trim anything that's a little long, go ahead and do it before you flip it over. You just want to look, go all the way around and really give it a nice look. Make sure nothing's sticking out. This one might be a little hair too close to that edge. So give it a haircut before you get too far in your process. There we go. Because it's much easier to do now when it's a separate unit than when it's glued down onto your card. Okay, so now we are going to attach our little banner pieces onto our card here, okay? So this is gonna go like so. But before we do that, remember, we need our confetti. So let's go ahead and grab that. I told you that it is called loose silver sequins, and I'll show you what they look like. They come in this little bag. And they're really fun. Let me move our koala out of the way. See how pretty they are? They're glistening and sparkly. I love them. Okay. Oops. Don't do that. Don't toss them because then they will fall. So now what we want to do is we want to set up so that we have 4 little pools of sequence. So I'm just going to take a pinch, or I'm going to try not to make a mess. And we don't need an abundance. That should be good. I'm going to try and pick up the pieces that I splattered around. You want to try and keep it nice and neat when you're doing shakers. So that's the first one, okay? That's enough for that one. Now we're going to put the next pool down underneath our lemon lime twist, and we can move the whole little pocket of them if we need to. All right, so there's that one. Good. We're still centered. We need to move over, so let's slide them a little bit over like that. Yes, much better. Now we're gonna do our little pile over here. So we're gonna do a pinch. That one's good. I'm gonna move it a little bit more to this side. All right. Make sure that I'm still within my, this one's kind of bordering on that side. I'm gonna move it over a smidge. All right. Yes, so one more pinch and it's gonna be down here for our lemon lolly pennant. It's gonna be down in this corner. I think I did a little bit too much there, so let's add a little to that side. I have a little too little there. All right. So that's really all you need, is a slight little pinch. You can see it says that there are 1,200 of these little sequins, so they will last for quite a few shaker cards. Whoops, I have some left over. I guess we'll just put them wherever I feel I need them. Maybe that one. All right. So that is all that we're doing here. Now, I'm gonna try not to upset this. I'm gonna leave that, and I'm gonna peel all my backings. I'm gonna make a pile on the side here of my desk. I know it's not in camera, but trust me, they're right there, and then I will put them all in the trash together. So I wanna make sure that I get all of my pieces up. This piece here is really important. It has to stay in place. If it's not gonna stay stuck, I'm gonna put a new piece, because I can't have that shifting at all, or my sequence is gonna ooze out. So that's something that you wanna check when you pull your backs off, that all of your small pieces, especially like when you use like these fragments, that they are in place, because if they're not, you're gonna lose sequence out that end wherever they're attached. So just double check that they are good. We're working our way. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. Wait till you guys see this part. This is the fun part, right? The shaker. Okay. Let me throw all of my pieces in the trash before they become staticky and stuck to me, or stuck to my shoe or my finger, or God forbid underneath this piece. I just want to make sure that I have removed all of them. I kind of move them in the light and make sure that everything is attached, secure, that my sequence is not going to fall out anywhere. Okay, we're good. Here comes the fun part. All right, we're gonna lay, but we're not gonna press, okay? We're gonna hold in place, move it around, make sure that we are how we want it to be, that we're in the card, and I'm gonna put one at a time, pressing it into my card, down onto my card here. And you want to press your sequence so that they're flat, and then you can do the shaker test. Make sure that they're nice and that you have good movement, and we do. I think we did fantastic. And see how that's just enough? It fits in all of the little curves. I love it. I think we put plenty. That one little pinch was plenty of movement behind each of these. All right, now comes the fun part. We're gonna attach our animals. They're all ready, so they just need wet adhesive. So I'm just gonna bring my card down. I'll bring my silicone mat up. We'll start with our aardvark or anteater or whatever this thing is. I don't know what it is, an aardvark. I don't even know. Oh my gosh, they're so cute. They're these critters. I'm just gonna call them critters. All right, so we're just using wet adhesive. And I will grab my tweezers. And he is going to live right here. You want his tail to be like along and his feet right in that corner, okay? And then just gently press so that he sticks to the window sheet. And I just like to, you know, pat real gentle, making sure that he fits in there nicely. All right, onto our raccoon. Raccoon with his balloons. All right, so the raccoon again is going to be in the middle of the pennant. Doesn't matter if it's wonky, you still want him centered. There's his little balloons. And again, you're going to do the same thing. Just press like that. All right, on to the next one, our puppy. Again, he's standing in the corner. Press him slightly down and then just pat with your hand. All right, koala bear is next. I hope you guys have been enjoying so far this shaker process. This is a fun card to make, and sometimes you have special occasions, you want to do a special card. Gonna tap with my, put a little too much glue there, but that's okay. I will pick it up with my fingertips and brush it onto my mat, and it'll dry clear, so it'll be fine. All right, and let's put the cupcakes. That koala got me. I put too much glue on him. You got to be careful with that, guys. Don't do what I do. Don't put too much glue. And if you do, don't squeeze anymore. Just run it from the next. I'm going to dip these down here because I think it's too much glue. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put these up here near the top, around the top part of your pennant, so that it doesn't mask the shaky bits on the inside. Okay, so there's our koala. Oh, I love it. Okay, so now we're gonna do our happy birthday. We're gonna cut pieces of, well, first we're gonna figure out where they're gonna live. This one doesn't need anything except for a tiny piece on the top where it's overhanging. We don't want that to fall down, so that's gonna get wet glue. Our next happy is also going to get wet glue, except for that hanger as well. So let's just do those little hanger pieces. So we're going to use the end of our dimensionals, and we're just going to cut little small pieces like that. And we need 4 because we have to double this. The shaker, in order to leave room for the shaker, you have to have a nice thick piece, okay? So you want to put 2 dimensionals, one on top of the other. We're going to do that to both of those top parts that say happy. And only that part is going to be sticking out, so it'll have some support. Pull the back off. And let's add this last piece right there. Okay, and pull that off. Now, I'm gonna throw those in the trash before they end up on my craft room floor. And then we're going to go ahead and add our wet adhesive to our happy, and then we'll do the last happy. That one's gonna need more dimensionals. I'll show you in a minute. So again, just add, holding on, add your wet adhesive. Don't put too much. Less is more. Okay. And if you get too much, we're going to do like we did with the cupcakes here. We're going to press like that, okay? So we have our, this is the one in the middle. So we're going to put this down, and we're going to kind of angle that happy across so that you have plenty of view. And then see how that piece that's dangling off, it now has that double support, so it's nice and lifted. Same here, make sure we don't have too much. We don't. And this piece is going to be sticking out, and this happy is going to be on this end like this. And again, it has that nice support right there. We're going to push this in place. All right, we have happy, happy. Let's show the last one. Now, the last one is kind of hanging, so most of this is going to be sticking out. So we need to have support for it. So what we're going to do is we're going to do the same thing that we did for the H on the other two. Just the tip is going to be hanging. So we're going to pull that off and place our other piece on top. Okay. That's going to be the first part that's going to fall there. Now, the most of this is going to be sticking out. So I'm going to cut a bar here for this. And again, it has to be double because remember, it's sticking out. So we have to lift and we have to double it. We have to put another one on top of that one. And it doesn't have to be the same size or anything. It's going to be hidden, so it'll be fine. And then let's see what we need for the happy. So that's going to be there. And then it looks like, whoops, the point of that Y, that little corner. So again, we'll use, like we did for the H, we'll just use 2 pieces on this top section of the Y. It's probably stuck all over my fingers. And then the rest of it's going to get wet glue because it's going to be attached onto my onto the actual pennants. So let's go ahead and put down here, down here, down here, down here. And let's attach this right up here and right like so. I'm gonna move that up a little. Happy, happy, happy. All right, there we go. And now we're gonna do birthday. Now birthday is mostly on our pennants except for the Y. So we need to fill that Y again with a long skinny piece. So we'll put that, oops, and I'll trim off that bottom, it's too long. And again, I'm gonna have to trim that bottom off, so just stick it up. It didn't mean, it wants to stick to my finger, but I'm gonna make it stick to my silicone mat. Pull that back off. We're almost done, guys. Hang in there with me, don't get bored and leave me. All right. So there's our happy birthday. We're gonna add, the rest gets all wet glue. Only the Y hangs off. So again, just be gentle. Don't put tons. Where there's larger letters, the rest just dot the glue. All right, so we have birth, day, okay? I'm gonna put that little Y up here, good. Happy, happy, happy birthday. Let me move this stuff into the trash can. Because, why? Because we have to, because if not, if we don't, it will be all over our floor. So now we're going to do the inside. So I have a surprise for you guys. For the inside, we're going to put our elephant that's holding the little pennant banner. Wait until you see how cute he is and how well he goes. Okay, I'm gonna bring my mat back in here. I'm gonna open, we're gonna do the inside of the card now. All right, so we're gonna use, look how cute. And remember this confetti we cut from the doggy? We're gonna add it around the elephant. I'll show you the inside. How cute is that? Super cute. Okay, so the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna stamp on here, something great to celebrate you. So let's move these cards out of the way. Bring this down here where I can see what I'm doing. Grab my sentiment and my Memento Tuxedo Black ink. Give that a little inking. Okay. And that's gonna go, I'm gonna bring this down a little more right there in the top corner area. Just make sure that you give it a nice press. Don't wiggle it though, just straight up and down. Something great to celebrate you. I'm gonna clean that in a second. And we're gonna put adhesive on the back of it. I love this. This is from the Nested Essentials. It's the largest one of this shape, and I think it looks fantastic in all different card sizes. Don't you think that looks amazing in there? It just like gives you a spot, like, you know, where you're going to, I'm gonna bring this mat down, get out of the way. It just gives you like a frame, right, of where you're gonna put your pieces. And it gives you something where you're gonna write your sentiment or what you wanna say or put your name or whatever. I just think it's fabulous. That elephant filled that spot so well. All right, so we're gonna put our little Ellie down here. Isn't she cute? Let's move some stuff out of the way. I have too much. This card is too big. I have so many things. Oh my gosh, I think I lost one of my confettis. I think I had 5. It's stuck to something. Oh. I'll find it when I least expect to find it. Let's do our elephant next. Oh, I see it. It's on top of the other confetti. It's there. All right, so we're gonna put our wet adhesive on the back of our cute little Ellie, and then we're gonna use our tweezers, of course. I don't want any glue on my fingers. So she's gonna go down here and kind of off to the side. Oh my gosh, I love her. She's so sweet. And the reason I put her down is we're gonna put the confetti around her head. So let's flip these confetti pieces over. And now I've lost another. There it goes. 5 pieces of confetti. I feel like the count now. One piece of confetti. All right. I'm aging myself now doing that, right? Although I think kids nowadays still watch Sesame Street. Alrighty, fabulous. All right, let's put this little whirly-do above the head of our Ellie. Let's get our silicone mat and our pieces. Let's put this large one next over here on the side. Oh my gosh, so cute. Put this teeny one up above her head, above this small long one. And then let's add this one on the right side. And the final piece. And I didn't think that this card needed any embellishment. It's very busy already, right? It didn't need any help. And I thought that the sequence that's floating around inside our card is embellishment enough. What do you guys think? I'm gonna clean my stamp before I am done, because if not, I will get my hands on it trying to clean up. But I hope that you guys enjoyed tonight, and that you put all of your questions in the comments. If you have any other questions, please drop them in there because I will be happy to answer them. This is the largest of this shape, was our inside. I love this project. It's so cute, and I hope that you guys enjoyed yourself as well. I will see you here Thursday at 1 p.m. for a cool project, and I will see you next time. This is Kelly with Inky Hands One Hearts. Happy stamping!